Something felt wrong, but no one said a word.
A quiet room, a warning unheard.
Smiles too tight, a laugh too forced.
Every instinct said,
Change your course. The vibes were off.
The lights were low.
We missed the signs. We should have known. The vibes were off.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our podcast,
The Vibes Were Off.
I'm Meg.
And I'm Catherine.
And we are here again today with another one. We, again, love to tell survival stories. So I will tell you the survival story of Mary Vincent.
I am ready.
Okay. You've probably heard about this one, but you maybe don't know all the details.
Yep, I haven't done research for sure, so I'm ready.
Awesome. So let's get into it. Mary was born in 1968, and she lived in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Hey, shout out Vegas.
Yeah, with her parents and her 6 other brothers and sisters. So she was one of 7.
That is a lot of kids.
Big house. Her father served in the military and was working as a mechanic, and her mother was a blackjack dealer.
Love it.
I just think that's so fun.
That's a good childhood, I feel like.
Yeah.
Especially in the like
Vegas.
70s in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice.
So Mary was a very artistic child. She loved to dance, and she actually dreamed of traveling the world as a competitive dancer.
What about like the showgirls? Did she want to do that?
I wonder.
Yeah.
I think she was more into like the competitive dancing.
Right. Like the jazz, ballet.
Yeah. She even performed a solo dance routine at the Miss Universe pageant when she was only 13.
We'd love to see that. We got a little dance in our background, so that's great.
She must have been really talented to do a solo.
I mean, but does everyone know that we were on the drill team in high school together?
We also loved to dance.
Fun fact about us.
Yeah, and I also think
it
was probably our dream to be professional dancers.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. We were convinced we were going to be on Broadway.
Yeah. I mean, low-key, it could still happen.
It could still happen. Reach out. I hear Chicago is casting. I would love to be the next Roxy Hart.
I just want to be a backup dancer for somebody. Like
Taylor Swift, are you listening?
Okay.
We would love it.
That's probably aiming too high.
Never too high.
But like anyone, I would love to. We need to get back into dance.
We do. We had the best time. I was a senior, Meg was a freshman, and we went to New York City for a competition. It's the first time we'd ever been out of Texas. And we were very poor, but somehow our mom scraped together enough pennies to send us.
And it was
New
amazing.
York, and we saw the original cast of Wicked on Broadway in 2006.
Yeah.
And it was an experience that
Kristen
we will forever remember.
Adina.
Yeah. It was so great. Like, we didn't have much, but we had that experience that we're taken through life.
And we also got to go see the Radio City Rockettes, their like dressing rooms.
Right, the
and
backstage
stuff.
tour.
That was really cool.
Well, that's because, we have an urban legend in our family, which I don't know if it's true. But there's some quotes that our grandmother was a Radio City Rockette.
Or she wanted to be. But she was too tall.
Yeah, she was very tall. She was almost 6 feet tall.
You have to be tall.
She was 6 feet. What did she say? She was 5'11"?
5'12". That's what she said. Yeah.
That's right. But you have to be tall to be a Rockette.
Yeah, but maybe not that tall.
Yeah. But the kicks are on point. All right. Sorry for the sidetrack.
Yeah, we got that. But that's fine because we were talking about dance. So when she was 15, her parents went through a really ugly divorce.
Oh, that's
and
sad.
She actually decided to run away from home. At
There's
just 15.
so many runaways in our stories.
I know. Well,
it's a theme.
Yeah, unfortunate theme. So it's kind of like, the late 60s at this point. She's 15 years old, and she decides she's going to hitchhike to the Bay Area in California to hopefully find some like-minded teens who enjoy dancing and art and just find a community there.
Like, I know that was what people did back in the day. They hitchhiked. But it's so sketchy. You think the word would have gotten around a little bit sooner.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, there's kind of a lot of people that end up murdered hitchhiking. Maybe don't.
It's so hard to fathom now that people would even trust that. But again, we have Uber now, and we get into strangers' cars all the time. And bad things happen to people all the time.
That's true.
In strangers' cars, but we still are like, oh, that's not going to happen to me. And I think that was the mindset.
Right.
That's not going to happen to me. I'm smarter than that.
I won't get in that situation. And if
Right.
I do, I know how to get out.
Right. So after a brief period of living on the street and sleeping in unlocked cars, Mary decided to go see her grandfather in
Hold on,
Berkeley.
You just passed right by that. So she like broke into cars to
They
sleep
were
for the
unlocked.
night? Oh dear.
I
Okay.
mean, I don't know.
I mean, creative, I
it
guess.
sounds like
dang.
maybe a common thing for wayward teens to do, especially maybe in like the San Francisco Bay Area. I don't
Everyone
know.
was so trusting because like, I don't need to lock my car or my house, and I can just give strangers rides and everything's fine.
I know. It was a different time.
Yep.
So she went and saw him in Berkeley, California, but it wasn't long before she started feeling homesick. So she decided to hitchhike back to her home in Las Vegas.
Oh my goodness, this poor girl.
Yeah. And keep in mind, she is 15 years old.
Yeah,
She's a baby.
Impulsive, right? Like 15-year-olds are impulsive. They're like, I'm going to go dance.
Well,
And I'm like,
she really just wanted to get away from the chaos and like the emotional stress of her
Right.
parents' divorce. You know, she was really missing home at this point. So she was like, I'm going to get back there. So on September 28th, 1978, Mary and two other hitchhikers were standing along the road holding signs. Mary's sign said heading south. And she didn't know these other two hitchhikers, but they had similar signs. So it seemed like all three of them were traveling in the same general direction.
It's just south.
South. Yeah.
Okay.
And it wasn't long before a blue van pulled up beside her.
Not the van.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
no.
driving this van was Lawrence Larry Singleton. So let's talk about Larry.
Uh-oh.
He was born in 1927 in Tampa, Florida.
Dang. So he's much older.
He's old.
Okay.
Yeah, she recalled him like kind of looking like a grandfather.
Right, which you would trust.
You would trust.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's not a lot known about his early life, but we do know that he dropped out of school at 16 to work at a rail yard and then later at a shipyard. And in 1945, he became a merchant mariner.
Mariner? Oh.
Like he worked at the shipyard.
Oh, okay.
Helping with like merchandise coming
That's a tough
off
life.
the ships and stuff.
Okay.
And that was just at 17 years old. He served in the Army during the Korean War, and he was honorably discharged. Discharged. Why is that a weird word to me? I don't know.
But you did it. You made it.
Thank you. We got through it. In 1952.
So how many years do you know did he serve?
It doesn't say, but he just was like in the war.
Okay.
He went out of the Army after the war. In 1958, he was married to a woman named Shirley Ann Powells. They were married for 14 years until her death in 1977.
Okay, so this is all very wholesome up till now.
So yeah, he's nothing really red flaggy per se in his background.
But the wife did die. Dun,
Right.
Dun, dun.
She died in 1977, and this all happened in 1978.
Okay. Yep.
So
I'm catching what
I'm
you're
not
putting down.
saying that they're connected, but So Singleton decided to pull over in his blue van, and he offered Mary a ride. Even though the back of his van was empty, he said he only had room for one person.
I just maybe question it a little bit.
Well, the other hitchhikers actually warned Mary against getting in
They're
this
like,
van
this
with
is not
him.
the one. Let's wait for another one.
Right. They were like, that is really odd that this old man will only give a ride to one female.
Little
one
girl.
young
Yes.
female.
Because the other two were younger females as well.
No, I think there was at least one other man because it was like made a point that like he only wants to take the girl with him.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And that's sketchy.
Don't get in the van.
Right.
But she did.
Yeah, she really wanted to get back home and she was really tired as well. So she just wanted a place where she could sit and rest. So she accepted the ride.
Poor thing.
Yeah. She ended up like drifting off and having a little nap, and everything seemed really normal at first. Like he was being nice, he let her sleep, and it was going fine until she woke up and noticed that Singleton was driving in the wrong direction.
And there it is, everybody.
Yeah. So she didn't take long to call him out on this. She was like, yo, you are going the wrong way. I need to go back the other way. What's going on?
Because I imagine she was like, it was already in her brain that the other two hitchhikers were like, this is a bad situation. She saw they're going the wrong way. They're like, she's like, shit.
Yeah.
How do I get out of this?
Immediately red flags for her. She's this is not okay.
Yep.
So he ended up pulling over to the side of the road. And keep in mind, they're kind of on like a remote road, kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Right, because they're going up, I'm assuming, like California.
Yeah, up.
Yep. Okay.
And so instantly she knows something's wrong. So she's kind of trying to figure out how she's going to get away from him. And she looks down at her feet and she notices that one of her shoes is untied. So thinking that like she's going to have to make a run for it. And she's like, I could probably get away because he's older.
Right.
Exactly. So she bent down to tie her shoe. And the next thing she knows, he started hitting her over the head.
Oh my God. So he definitely untied her shoe then while she was sleeping?
I don't think that he untied her shoe. I just think he took the opportunity of her like not paying attention to him.
What did he use to hit her with?
A sledgehammer.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he was ready. Like he had to have that in the driver's seat or close to it.
It was close enough to him.
Wow.
Yeah. So when she woke up, she was tied up in the back of the van.
Yep.
Singleton spent the next day repeatedly raping Mary. Sorry, I did not give a trigger warning for this, but it's pretty rough what happens to her.
But she survives. That's the thing I keep telling myself. These are survivor stories.
Exactly.
But the whole like 24 hours.
Yeah,
just
pretty much. Raping her, falling asleep. There's moments where he's asleep and she's like, how could I get out of this? But there's just no way with the way that he tied her up. So she's just stuck there and she doesn't sleep at all.
So are they driving still at all or they're just parked on the
No,
side
I
of the
think
road?
that they're parked here for a while. And again, I think it's in a remote area where they're not maybe really being noticed. I don't know.
So he has to like know this area, right? It feels like he drove her there.
Yeah, he must, right?
Yeah, on purpose. Like, hey, I know nobody's going to drive over here. We got a couple of days. I can do whatever I want with this little girl.
Yeah, that's what it seems like to me. So Mary spent that day pleading for him to just let her go. She just kept saying over and over, please, please, just let me go. And the next day, he pulled her out of the van. So this is all like in one day. Okay. She's with him. But it's like towards the evening, kind of the next day that she's with him. And he pulls her out of the van and says, you want to be set free? I'll set you free.
No.
Then he took a hatchet out of his toolbox and swung at one of her arms.
Oh, okay. So she's tied up at this point?
Or
did he untie her?
I think he must have untied her at least a little bit for her to be able to stand up. And like, because I think her arms had to have been free. Okay. So, but he's got like the back doors open of the van. And so she's like standing just outside of the van. You know what I mean? So
okay, yes.
Yeah, so like she could still like fall back into the van, which is something that happens.
He's outside of the van
He's
as well.
outside of the van as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so because he comes around the back and he pulls her out and he's like, you want to be set free? I'll set you free.
They're like, bet, and start running.
And so I don't think she was able to get away from him.
Yeah.
It all happened so fast. But so he starts swinging at one of her arms. And then he went to swing again, so Mary grabbed tight onto his arm.
Okay.
Then she started to fall backwards, back into the van, which really confused her because she thought she had just grabbed a hold of his arm. And when she looked down, she realized he had severed her arm just below the elbow, and her hand was still attached to him.
Oh my God.
So in her brain, she feels like she's
holding on to him.
She feels like she's holding on to him still.
But her arm is just holding
detached,
and he's just like, okay, I have your arm on my arm.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this poor baby.
Yeah. So it
then like, what do I do now?
Yeah. So it took him just a couple swings to get that arm off, and then he started.
Oh my God, he's hacking at her arm.
Yes.
Okay.
And then he starts swinging
No.
and chops off her second arm.
Stop. What?
But it takes a little bit longer because at this point she's laying down in the back of the van and she's kicking him. She's trying to get him off of her. So it takes a little bit longer for him to cut that arm off.
Why does he want to cut her arms off?
I don't know. That's the big question of like, why did her arms need to come off?
I'm so confused.
Speechless.
And like so brutal.
Yeah.
Because like, and then that's gonna kill, like, could
Right.
kill her, right?
And that's what he thinks. So
Right.
as she is laying in the back of the van, basically bleeding out, she noticed him shaking his arm wildly, and she realized that he was trying to shake off her arm that was still grabbed onto him.
Like,
Just
good.
shake it off.
Good. I'm glad. I hope it was uncomfy.
Yeah, it at the very least.
So, okay,
for
so
him.
one arm is below the elbow. Do you know what the other arm is?
I think it's at about the same.
Okay, so there's like
place.
four
Like,
arms.
pretty much, yeah, 4 arms off on
Okay.
both sides.
Okay.
Thinking that she was dead, he drug her to the side of the road and dropped her into a 30-foot drop into a canyon.
So she's passed out at this point. Or is she pretending to be dead?
No, I mean, she's limp.
Okay.
But she's still awake. She remembers being awake, but maybe she looked pretty dead.
Right.
But yeah.
you just assume she'd die
Yeah.
in the 30-foot
30-foot drop.
drop into a canyon
Right.
in the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere.
Got it.
And then he left.
Oh, just drove
'Cause
off.
Why stick around?
What a weird methodology to like rape this girl
So
and then
odd.
cut off her arms.
And it's also shocking to me that he didn't have any kind of criminal history really before that.
Right.
Like that seems
This
like
is your first crime
that seems aggressive. And as like an older man
to a stranger.
to a 15-year-old.
Right, because I could get it, maybe like a personal vendetta, something happens and that makes you snap. But this is a stranger
But to a complete stranger
that you picked up
that you
hitchhiking.
kidnapped and
you did-
raped.
Right.
And then just decided her arms need to come off.
Because like he didn't plan this,
It doesn't
right?
seem like it. It was totally random.
Okay.
At least the person that he picked up.
Right.
Maybe he was planning to do this to a hitchhiker.
somebody.
And she just happened to be the one that he
The
found.
unlucky victim.
Yeah. So what he didn't know was that Mary was still alive. Her body was in shock and she was losing a lot of blood.
Right.
But not only that, she had dropped 30 feet to the ground and broken 4 ribs in the fall.
Ouch.
Which honestly is probably the least of her
Yeah, she
worries
probably didn't
at
even
this
notice
point.
it.
Yeah, she's in shock. So when she came to, she thought for sure that she was not going to make it.
Right.
But she just remembers not wanting to let him get away with it and not wanting him to be able to do this to anyone else. So she packed her wounds with dirt from the ground to help stop the bleeding.
Like, what a badass.
What a badass.
Like, you're just like, I gotta stop this bleeding, all right? We got some dirt. Ooh, can we
Like,
find a
to-
cactus and stuff that
To
in
be
there?
in that situation and to have that much wherewithal to know that you need to pack your wounds to stop the bleeding so that you can make it to get help.
Right. And, 15.
And she's 15 years old.
Wow. And like kind of she grew up in the city, right? She's a little bit sheltered. She doesn't know much about the wilderness.
Right.
And to be like
survival
I'm
skills,
this, like,
probably not.
badass survivor,
She knew that.
medic.
I don't think at 15 I would have known to do that.
No, I probably would have just laid there and been like, well, we
Yeah.
tried. you know?
Right. So she begins walking.
Whoa.
At this point, it's dark outside, so she couldn't see much, but she could hear the noise of a freeway, so she started walking towards it.
Okay, that's good.
She walked for 3 miles.
Gee, I don't know if I could walk 3 miles right now. It's late at night and I'm tired. I worked all
Can
day.
you imagine? She's bleeding out,
No arms.
no arms, very, very badly hurt, and walked 3 miles until she saw a
Jeez.
car and she
Okay.
tried to flag it down.
Well, ooh.
So it was I think it's like the early morning right now, but
Okay.
it's still dark outside. So it was a red convertible with 2 men inside. They slowed down, but they did not stop to help her.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Men.
And the amazing person that Mary is, she says she understands and she does not blame them for not stopping.
I
'Cause
do. I'll blame them for you,
She
Mary.
probably looked like something out of like a Fright Night movie.
But maybe call the cops.
Right.
Did they call the cops? At
I
least?
don't think so.
Trash.
But Yeah. Luckily, though, the next car that saw her did stop. It was a couple on their honeymoon
Oh my gosh.
who had gotten lost, and they were just looking for directions.
Wow.
And so they happened to pass
Thank
by
God
her.
they did.
Yeah. They helped her into their truck, and they got her to the nearest place where they could call for help.
Okay.
Because
great.
again, it's
in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. What, 70 something?
70s, yeah.
So, I forgot what year we're in. 78, I think. But yeah, so they found somewhere where they could call for help, and she was life flighted to a hospital and treated for her wounds. When she got to the hospital, she had lost half of her blood in her body.
Yeah.
And the blood she did have was at a toxic level. But
Why was it toxic? Because of the dirt?
Yeah, I think so.
Like septic?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but her body was so desperate for blood, it was just
Still
recycling.
pumping that around.
Exactly. But she would not sleep until she had given police all the help that she could, which included a composite sketch of Singleton.
Yeah, badass.
She was like, I'm not doing anything else until I'm able to like tell my story and to get this guy caught.
Like, this is the girl we need in the Navy SEALs.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, she's like, I don't need sleep. Let's catch the perp.
She's amazing.
Right.
Yeah. And keep in mind too, like she did not sleep the whole night before.
Right. She was being assaulted.
She was being assaulted. Right. Yeah. So she had to have been really tired.
Right.
In just 10 days, they caught Singleton. Thankfully.
Yes. Okay, good.
And Mary testified against him in court using prosthetic arms that she built herself to point him out as her attacker.
I'm just like, who is this girl?
She's amazing.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Like, you're just going and you're like, wants to be a dancer, but then you discover this badass, like, amputee, designed her own prosthetics.
Yeah.
Like, wow, you're so much more capable than you think you are.
Yeah.
That's what that says.
She calls herself like a tinkerer, and she had created prosthetic arms for herself in just 2 weeks after the attack.
Oh my God. Like, her blood volume hadn't even returned.
Right.
And she's like, we got to get these prosthetic arms going.
Yeah. She's amazing.
Wow.
So Singleton got just 14 years for the rape, kidnapping, and attempted murder of Mary.
I would be like, street justice.
Which, shockingly, this was the max sentence allowed by the law at that time for what he did.
Why?
That's a great question. And this sparked a lot of outrage, this case, and it actually helped to move some things forward, and I'll talk about that in just a second.
Well, like, listen, let me go on a little tangent here.
Yeah.
For attempted murder, he meant to murder her.
He thought he did.
Just because he just happened, and this is with all attempted murders, because
It
they
really
like
bugs me.
accidentally like messed up and didn't finish. They're like, okay, well, I guess you didn't complete the thing that you set out to do by some miracle, so we'll just give you 14 years.
Right. Like
Like,
that.
it wasn't
changes-
because, like, I understand that's why they did the attempted murder, because if you stop before you finish killing, you get a lesser sentence. So that was supposed to, be an incentive for murderers to not kill.
Right.
Because if you kill, you're going life in prison.
Right.
But if you don't finish it,
Right. So there's always time to stop.
right, there's always time to stop. But this guy thought she was dead.
Right.
He wanted to kill her. And the 14 years, that's it?
14 years.
No.
Yeah.
Street justice.
And as Mary was exiting the courtroom, she walked by him close enough and heard him whisper, "If it's the last thing I do when I get out, I will finish the job."
That's cool. I'll be waiting with a 45. Please.
Like-
it's like that Dixie Chicks song. Or is it Dixie Chicks? It's
Yeah.
like, yeah. I'll be waiting. That's a Miranda Lambert song.
Oh.
I like got my shotgun.
I was thinking of a Goodbye Earl.
Yeah. Oh, well, you know what? We'll goodbye Earl him. You want some
Yes.
Black Eyed Peas?
Sure.
Yeah, they tasted all right to me.
Yeah. So, the audacity of this man.
Did she tell people like when this
I think
happened?
so.
Like, hey, court, knock, knock, knock.
Right.
He just
I
threatened
don't
to
know
kill
if
me.
she told anybody, but I mean, would it have made a difference? I don't know.
Would she at least put in like protective custody or something when he got out?
Not that I'm aware of.
Jesus.
So, yeah. But even more shocking, he was then released after just 8 years for good behavior.
We got to do better, California. We got to do better.
We gotta do
That's ridiculous.
well,
8 years?
and they do better after this.
Well,
so
do you know how old he is when he gets released, or like any idea around how old he is?
I mean, he's still old.
because this has got to be in like the 80s, right? And he was born in 24.
That was well, he
Like
this
the late
happened in
80s?
87, so probably 88. He was
like late
sentenced.
80s. So he's like 60 something, 64.
Yeah,
Oh my god!
but like he obviously like will do this.
He's gonna do it again. Yep.
So, anyways, when he was released, the public was so outraged that actually
Street justice.
no city would allow him to live there. Anytime he went somewhere, there were protests and and so much chaos that he had to be like escorted out of whatever city that was.
Bring back the mob mentality,
right?
honestly.
They were not having it. So they actually had to put a trailer on the prison grounds just so he could live close enough for his parole for a year.
You idiot.
Yeah. That is how outraged people were at this. So, it was pretty bad and a huge letdown by the legal system. But luckily it did bring around some change.
Okay, tell me about it.
So the Singleton bill was passed, making it more difficult for violent offenders to be released early from prison. And it also brought around the change to the law that crimes involving torture could be charged with 25 to life in California.
Okay, but what's the definition of torture?
So that's
It's like
that's a
up
great
to
question.
interpretation.
Right. But I think hacking off someone's arms would probably fall under that.
Yeah, that's good. Good. I'm glad they did something because that is insanity.
Insane. 8 years for what he did to her. That's all.
Was he ever remorseful?
No.
Even did he pretend in court?
No, he actually said he did that in self-defense. He had to.
Did he say she attacked him in the van?
He had to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he's just, self-defense. That sounds good.
Yeah. She was so upset that he had raped her that he just...
Oh, I see.
He had to.
Yeah.
But our story is not over.
Oh, no.
So after his year of parole, Singleton moved back to Florida. Surprising that he could even find anywhere to live because...
It's across the country,
people
right?
hated him. And in 1990, he was twice convicted of theft, serving a 2-month sentence for stealing a disposable camera, which, okay.
You don't have to steal that.
Right. And then a 2-year term for stealing a hat.
Okay, so
which
he got
honestly is kind of
quarter of a sentence for stealing the hat that he did for
I
attempting
guess
to
because
murder.
he was like a convicted felon and, so...
He's a reoffender.
Right.
They were like,
so they went
2 years.
hard on him.
Okay.
But
good.
I love to see it.
Yep.
Not
happy.
enough. Honestly.
Rest in distress.
Yeah. But unfortunately, that is not where the criminal behavior ended.
Was he like 90 just doing crazy shit?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my God. Somebody just get rid of him.
Yeah. So in the spring of 1997, nearly 2 decades after he attacked Mary Vincent, we're 2 decades on now.
Okay.
Singleton attacked and murdered a mother of 3, Roxanne Hayes, in his home in Tampa, Florida.
Okay, so I'm just doing some math. He's in his 80s at this point. Or
Yep.
70s?
No, 80. He was born in 27, and this is 1997.
Okay, so
80?
80.
90? No, 80.
80.
I'm bad at math.
You know what? This pisses me off so hard when these people reoffend and kill somebody. Like, I want to go to that judge and be like, you are responsible for the murder of this woman.
Right.
You let,
That's
like,
on
the
you.
parole board.
I mean...
You let this monster out.
Yeah. But even then, he only would have been there for 14 years.
Well, he should have got life.
He should have, yeah. And like even the
laws.
judge, when they gave him the 14 years, that judge was like, I wish I could give you life in prison, but this is all I can give.
I take it back, Judge. You
yeah,
tried.
that judge really did try, but hands were kind of tied by the law, which they did fix.
Good. Okay.
But
yep. All right. So tell me
a little
about
too late.
this poor woman.
Yeah. So Roxanne was in her 30s. She had 3 kids and a boyfriend who lived with her, and she was a sex worker just trying to provide for her family, which, I mean, I get it.
Like, yeah, your kids have to eat. You're going to do whatever you have to do to feed your kids.
And unfortunately, she crossed paths with Singleton, and he took her to his home for just $20.
That's so tragic.
Tragic.
This is 97?
This was 1997.
And you're just, gosh, $20. You just needed that $20, and you have to go with this old, disgusting man.
Right. But you also are probably thinking this 80-year-old man is not going to harm me.
Right.
Like, honestly, he probably won't even be able to get it up. It'll probably be pretty easy.
Right. Oh, I didn't even think about that. That's probably exactly what it was. But it didn't turn out that way.
Didn't turn out that way. So a neighbor reported seeing Singleton attacking a woman through the window, and when police arrived, they found Roxanne dead.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So somebody saw this happening?
Somebody saw it. His neighbor saw it happening through the window. And he had stabbed her 7 times.
How did he have the energy?
Yeah. So he was promptly arrested and charged with her murder. And Mary actually flew from California to Florida to testify against him.
Yes,
about
Mary.
her. Yeah. She was like, I'm absolutely going to get justice for this woman.
I'm sure she felt awful.
Yeah.
Because she knows.
Well,
like, she's been there.
Yeah. She spent a lot of time helping to get that bill passed.
Right.
To change the law.
So that this doesn't happen.
Yeah. So she was devastated when she heard about this. And again, Singleton tried to claim self-defense. Roxanne had attacked him, so he had to stab her.
It worked the first time, is what I'm saying.
I mean, like, not really.
I guess he just got convicted.
Yeah,
but
he just didn't kill her. So
laws.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
there's no way. That's okay.
Yeah,
7 times. Okay,
7 times. But luckily, on April 14th, 1998, Singleton was sentenced to death.
Great. Fry him.
Wonderful. Should have happened the first time.
Yeah.
But here we are. But unfortunately, he would pass away from cancer in 2001 before he could be executed. But honestly, I'm hoping that the cancer was more painful than the execution would have been.
Yeah. No, like, I hope it was terrible.
Yeah.
I hope it spread. I hope you were in pain.
The whole time.
I hope it was awful. I hope they denied you treatment so that you just had to slowly die. Because what a monster.
Monster.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So Mary would go on to become an advocate for victims of violent crimes. She also attended the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and became an artist.
Love that.
Yeah.
It's a great place to be an artist.
Right?
Yeah.
So she enjoys creating artwork of powerfully upbeat women. And she likes to paint them and portray them as like superheroes.
So does she paint with her prosthetics?
Mm-hmm. She's made custom prosthetics so that she can paint with.
Wow. What a bad bitch.
Yeah, she's created multiple, and she even created one for bowling.
Oh, like arms to bowl.
So she can bowl. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think she was actually like contacted by like a prosthetics company that wanted to like use her designs.
Yeah.
For prosthetics.
I'm sure they're amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Can you buy her paintings still?
You can.
Yeah. Are you going to post a picture for us so we can see one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah.
That's a good idea. Yeah. And then she also is happily married and has 2 adult sons.
Love that for her.
Yeah.
I hope she gets everything she ever wants and her pillow is always cold.
Yes.
Even
or
the
warm,
other side.
However
or whatever
she likes it.
Whatever she wants.
Yeah.
I hope you get everything. How amazing is that? And while you were telling me that story, I was just sitting here thinking how lucky it was that he didn't go for her legs.
Right.
Right? Because that would be if she, he's hacking at her, right? And she's kicking him. You said she was kicking him.
She's
like, why not?
Right.
So it's such a weird, again, methodology to get the arms.
Like he was so focused on getting her arms off
like
for some reason.
He didn't go for her head or her chest. Like
no,
something
arms.
that you knew would kill her. He
Yeah.
went for arms.
Like, yeah, it's very strange.
Because it feels like almost maybe subconsciously he wanted to give her a chance.
I don't know.
And was like, good luck?
Yeah, like just to, I don't know, or like to humiliate her, or
right.
I'm not really sure.
I just can't get over the like shaking his arm, trying to get her gripped arm off of him.
Yeah.
Like, I hope he had nightmares about that for his entire life and, like,
Yeah.
felt a phantom arm.
Oh, I hope so.
Grabbing him.
Yeah.
And, you know, even
It's like
from
woke up
beyond
sweating.
the grave, right? Like, just has this
She's
arm.
still got a grip on him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. She also, shocking, is a part of the I Survived TV show. I love that show.
We love it.
It's my favorite. And just to hear her talk about the whole ordeal and like how she still has a positive outlook on life. It's wild.
Yeah, I mean, she seems like that's the person who would have the positive outlook on life.
Yeah.
2 weeks after, she was like, you know, putting her prosthetics together.
She
was like,
I'm
time
going
to
to
move on with
continue
life.
life. Yeah, I'm not going to let him take my life from me.
Yeah. Did you have any information about like her family? How did they all respond when she was found?
That's a good question. I'm not really sure.
Yeah,
I'm
if they were
sure-
like,
I'm
that's
sure
crazy, daughters.
No, I'm sure they like came to her. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like a good family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was
just a bad divorce.
The bad divorce was
Okay.
what made her kind of want to get out of there. But she was on her way back home.
Right. It's just so tragic. Well, I hope she still danced. I don't know if you know that, but I hope she
Yeah.
did.
Me
Like,
too.
I hope you just, like, you know, go take a back tour of the Rockettes.
Yeah.
Like, let her get in the kick line real quick.
Yeah, it sounded like she kind of pivoted to art,
Yeah.
which she said was like not really an outlet before, like for her before that. Like she
that's
didn't really
interesting.
have any like desire or like ability, that natural ability. But after she said that this incident like unlocked something in her,
Amazing.
and she's very good. So I'll post a picture.
What a great story. That was wonderful. Thank you, Meg.
Yeah, no problem. Well, I know that the vibes were bad in this story.
But with us, the vibes are always good.
Hope to see you soon. Love ya.
Love ya.
Bye.
Bye. Listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or YouTube.
You can also find us on Instagram at The Vibes Were Off, TikTok at The Vibes Were Off Podcast, or good old-fashioned email at thevibeswereoff@gmail.com.